Kia ora, good afternoon. I'm going to do one of two videos. Hopefully they're not going to be very long. This one is in regards to my Queen Victoria dream that I had yesterday, and the bloody rabbit hole that took me down that I wasn't expecting to. It's like I had a dream about Queen Victoria that I knew was something big and special, not realising that it was going to suck me down a bloody portal or vortex of something that was going to end up debunking the Jack the Ripper murders, and explaining why the powers that be are trying to destroy the British monarchy and all monarchies, and why they're after Vladimir Putin, and why they killed the Queen and why they killed Princess Diana. And that's all to do with like the King David bloodline. If you hear that noise, it's just me using my spray, my spritz. I put it in my hair, I put it in my body. It's got 1,001 uses, but my hair's gone fluffy. I went to sleep. I washed my hair this morning, went to sleep, because I'm just exhausted, because the Lord has got me working like you wouldn't believe. He's making me sing for my supper, so to speak. And, yeah. My God, I don't even know. I would have made a video yesterday after it all happened. I would have made a video to talk about it, but I was just so stunned and overwhelmed by the rabbit hole that took me down. And then that wasn't even the finish of it yesterday, because then this morning it took me down a completely new thread with due to a lunch dinner that Donald Trump had with Bill Gates, that ended up like tying the knot on the bow of the whole investigation together as to why the royal family were targets. And it like I keep saying to King Charles in the codes, Mummy says that it's to do with World War II and probably eugenics, which, you know, the whole Bill Gates thing and the COVID injections and that, because that woman is hell-bent on taking Bill Gates down at all costs, because she holds him personally responsible for her passing. So she's out to get him. She's out to get him. Whether he likes it or not, doesn't matter what they do, she's out to get him, and she's got God on her side. So they have no earthly powers over God. So then this meeting with Trump and Gates tied them in with the whole eugenics program, which took them back to World War II. But then it went even further with the mosaic dream that I had about Diana, and that, you know, nudge nudge wink wink video, and that Diana was then leading me down the path, because remember in the dream it was Diana, King Charles when he was the Prince of Wales, Queen Elizabeth, Queen Victoria, and it turns out the man that I said with the bushy beard was Tsar Nicholas Romanov, Tsar Nicholas II, and it turns out, it looks like they were killed, the Russian royal family were killed by the same people and for the same reasons that they're wanting to get rid of the British monarchy. And one of the reasons why they want war with Russia is because Vladimir Putin wants to reinstate Russia's royal family. And then, so then I was like, well, I had known that with the Jack the Ripper case, they tried to say that Prince Albert was involved. So I looked into that, which is why Queen Victoria came to my dream, because she was trying to let me know that this doesn't just end at World War II and eugenics and all that sort of thing. Like, you need to go back further. So I went back to Queen Victoria, and then that flung me all the way to the Bible and the New Testament, and exposing the whole thing. And because, you know, I keep saying only about 30% of the Bible is real. Well, I've just proven with all of this, with Gates, with the whole conspiracy for the royal families over the centuries, the Jack the Ripper thing, I have pretty much just debunked and explained the mysteries of the last 2,000 plus years, dating back to the Bible and the planned extermination of royal bloodlines. It's one of the reasons why they killed Jesus, because they saw him as the king. Remember, he was called King of the Jews. But yeah, not all is as it seems. So I had a dream about Queen Victoria, and before I know it, I got sucked through a wormhole, through a portal, down a vortex, and landed this morning like a stunned mullet at the news of a meeting between Trump and Gates that then just like bounced and ricocheted me off through another bloody time portal that ended up tying up the loose ends to yesterday's investigation. I got flung through a portal and now the door shut, and it's like I said, after my investigation yesterday from that dream, from where it started, you can't unsee the evidence that I've produced, and you can't unknow it anymore. You can't look at it and say, oh well it's this, or oh well it's that. Like, the evidence is so irrefutable and so standing in its truth and corroborates everything that I've been saying over the last few years, that it can't be denied. You can't even, like, if anyone tried to explain it away, oh well no, but it you know, it's just this, or she's that, or she's mental, or she's like, it's undeniable, because I've connected the dots so well that it has painted an even bigger picture than I was expecting. That you can't take the pieces to this 2,000 plus year old puzzle apart and not see the picture that it painted the first time. You can't unsee the picture that I just painted, because I had that dream about Queen Victoria. But she was like, it's like she gave me the nod to just open the vaults and just let it all out, like released all the codes and just like let it all out. That ended up proving everything I've been saying about the Bible and religion and the Illuminati and all that. Like, undeniable. Epstein, the connections, the people connected, why they're connected, why Starmer's government, Tony Blair, all of it. Von der Leyen, like all of it. So if you want to see what I'm talking about, I can put links in the description box below, but there are quite a lot of links to click on. So my advice is just go to my social media pages and click on the page where I'm talking about the dream, the Queen Victoria dream, and then just go up from there. Don't go down, go up. Start there and go up to the next one, the next one, the next one. It starts with, you'll see like a page that's got Lammy and Rayner and Starmer on it, and how they were caught taking money from some Jewish Labour lobbyist person. It starts from there, because that was the trigger. I was like, hang on a minute, and then it was just like, boom. And it was kind of like, 1 minute I'm sitting, you know those Tic Tacs and all that, of the people sitting in those chairs that catapult them, and they're screaming and laughing and all of that, and they pass out and they go funny, and then they wake up, and then they're screaming and laughing, and then they pass out, and then they wake up because like they get flung. I think it's called the catapult, is it? Where they're like stationed to the ground, and then they let the bangs go, and then they just go patoing and go up, and then you see them screaming and laughing and, you know, passing out and stuff, like the G-forces and that. That's what it felt like I went through. I had that dream about Queen Victoria. I posted that dream, and then next thing you know, I'm catapulted. And I'm yelling, screaming, laughing, passing out, waking up, yelling, screaming, laughing, passing out. Oh my God, like, and I would have made the video sooner, but then I would have had to have done another one explaining about the Trump Gates meeting. So I can see, but I just thought, no, because I was trying to think of what to say, because, like, how do you explain it all? How do you put all of this into a video? Like, the only way to really understand what the hell happened yesterday is to actually read the posts and to see what I was saying and to pull the evidence up and click on all the links and all of that. Like, I was trying to think, how can I explain it all and just be succinct about it? But really, the only way you're ever going to understand it is by just going to the Queen Victoria, my meeting with Queen Victoria and my posts, and then going to the next one, talking about Lammy and Starmer and Raina, who's just resigned, by the way, so that's one gone, and go up from there until you get to pretty much the post that I'm about to talk about with the second video with about this disappearance of this woman in Japan. Because I'm still like in shock, like I'm still in shell shock. I just kind of dropped a massive truth bomb on the world that was so big and so much more of an explosion than I was expecting, that it's left even me stunned. And I thought, well, I'll make a video about it, but I need to rest because I'm actually getting the same pains in my stomach that I used to get when I had my hernia issues, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to be another hernia, because where I've got the pain is actually where the meshes are holding my stomach in. So I don't think there's anywhere for me to have a hernia there because it's all held in by meshes. But I thought I'll just rest and I'll ease the pain and then I'll make this video. And now I know why I didn't make the video, because we had to wait for Trump to call this meeting with Bill Gates. And then Queen Elizabeth just went in with a and just tied it all together in a nice little bow, as if to say, look, Debbie was telling the truth. She was right about the whole thing. There really is a conspiracy. They really are out to get my son and my grandchildren and my daughter and my sons and my blah, blah, blah. And it really has been going on since World War II. And it goes back to, Queen Victoria, and then even further than that. And the whole thing is true. And she absolutely well deserves the credit, because she has been relentless, that woman. Every time I've been like, he's not listening, the king's not like, they're not listening, Your Majesty. She's like, just keep doing it, push, but you've got to push, you have to push. Just please. She said to me the other day, like, because using quantum magnetics, people keep trying to copy me in that. They have no idea how hard it is to use quantum magnetics. You have to be a master of patience and observation and timing and all of that. Everything I do, everything I say, everything I post, even if people disagree with it, even if people take it down, even if people think, oh my God, she's going to get herself into trouble, let's delete it and blah, 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 they're interfering in a process that is supposed to draw the right and wrong people out of the shadows, draw the right people out to work with me and protect me to help save the world, draw the right people out of the shadows so that we can eliminate them and expose them, So everything I say and everything I do is because I'm being told to by gods, the spirits, and the ancestors. And I move when I'm told. I say what I'm told. Everything is under divine instruction and divine order. And she, like the other day, I was laying there in so much pain, and like I was almost crying. I was in so much pain, and I was saying, I can't do this anymore. Like, I'm exhausted. I can't even cook because standing hurts, and all of that. And I said to her, he's not listening. I'm screaming at your son, and he's not listening. And she said to me, What would you do if it was your son? She said, this is my family. You're fighting for your family too. What would you do if they were doing this to your son? And then that's when I just sat up and I was like, okay, right. So then I just, got myself organised, gave myself a shower and everything like that. And then that's when I was just like, boom, and on it again. And I just pounded and pounded and pounded her son with message after message after message after message after message. And I think every fibre of my being, after the whole Queen Victoria dream and the drain that I got thrown down through all the loops and curves and stuff like that, I think he's finally got it. Just something tells me he's finally got it. He's finally woken up and realised that he needs to take this seriously. So, because she's not, to me, she's not the Queen, even though I call her, Her Majesty and the Queen, or to me, she's not the Queen. She's Lil. She's codename Red, Lady in Red. And she's a mum who has defied the laws of physics to entrust me with the biggest, most personal dilemma, most personal public dilemma that her family are facing, that they've ever faced in the history of the British Empire. She's trusted me to be the one to get through to her family to say, you need to wake up, because you are around people who are literally about to eat you all alive. And that when King Charles goes down and the family, when they roman off the family, that will be it. There will be no more British Empire. And the Commonwealth nations will be sold off and become, like communist totalitarian states. And then that's it. Because they're out to destroy all the royal bloodlines. So they want to alter themselves, and she's hell-bent on holding Bill Gates responsible. Even the Fauci Tedros thing, it's Bill Gates. It's because she said, because he's the one closest to my son. She holds him responsible for King Charles's cancer. She holds him responsible for what happened to Princess Catherine. The Queen is holding Bill Gates personally responsible for what happened to her and what's happening to her family. And she's, with her blessing, with Diana's blessing, and with Queen Victoria's blessing, they gave me the privilege of being able to access what could be very publicly damning information about their family in an investigation, knowing that I am only going to report the truth. If I think for 1 minute that they're guilty, I'm going to say it, because I was anti-royal at the start, and then but just like I wasn't a believer in God as well, and then I ended up being like their biggest offenders, because I started to realise, hang on a minute, something doesn't add up here. There's something not right about this whole thing. And as a scientist, as I said to my nephew this morning, as a scientist and a woman of God, I can only speak the truth. If I don't speak the truth, I'm the one that's held responsible for putting stuff out there that's a lie. I can get stuff wrong, like with the Jack the Ripper thing. And in my second revisited investigation of Jack the Ripper, I was like, yeah, no, I don't think it was anything to do with the Jews and blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, yeah, no, I think I maybe got that one wrong too. But it's all explained in my post. I explain, it goes back to the Anglo-Israelites of the British royal family. This goes back to the Old Testament. So there needs to be a recorrection of history's dynamic. And that's where I come in, the quantum menace. I'm the time jumper. I'm the one that solves the mysteries that are deep inside history. That was, connecting the dots used to be called Mysteries Inside History. I'm the only one that can do it. There's nobody else in the world that can do what I do. Nobody else reads the codes the way that I read them, because people need to understand, as an occult scientist, I call myself an occult physicist now, because it's just easier to say occult scientist, occult physicist, than occult scientist and ascension scientist and physicist, like it's a long title. So I just say occult physicist. The word occult means knowledge of the hidden. And they all thought they were being clever, hiding all their stuff, thinking they were this big secret society, the enlightened ones. And it turns out that they're so far in the dark, they don't even know what they're talking about when it comes to hiding their codes and stuff in the occult. Once Queen Victoria gave me the nod to open those portal gates and go down that rabbit hole, what I uncovered is so obviously, blatantly true. You couldn't even defend what I've uncovered in court, because it's like, you look at the information and you're like, holy flip-flop, Batman. Because it turns out the last few centuries have just been a lie. It's all just been one big lie. Like the Matrix is coming down in a way that it's, but the thing is, it's like liberating, because now it frees you from the restraints of who we thought God was and who we thought Satan was. And by understanding it the way that I'm trying to teach people, it gives you such a better outlook on life and a more open, refreshed connection with God, and the whole understanding of your evolutionary growth and your spiritual development and stuff like that, that it's like God helping me with what happened yesterday is enabling people to throw off the shackles of guilt and shame, of not going to church, of not doing what your priests and vicars and that tell you to, because it never feels right, it didn't sit right. You know, I used to say, that's not my God, that's not the God I know. And it turns out I was right. And the God we know is so much cooler and so much better than any way that any Bible or religion has taught us to understand him, that it's liberating, it frees the soul. Which is a nice segue into the second video that I'm about to do about this missing woman in Japan, in regards to, you know, the true story of Spirited Away, and why I think I had this dream about these two Japanese gods, because I think I've been given permission, just like Queen Victoria, to go down a rabbit hole to free a lot of souls that are trapped on these mountains and stuff in Japan. So I'm going to leave it at that. Just go to my posts with that starts with the Queen Victoria, my visit with Queen Victoria, and go all the way up to the Spirited Away one. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot to take on board. You're gonna need to have a few cuppers, and you might even need a whiskey or two and stuff like that. But I promise, when you get to the end of it, your mind is gonna be so blown wide open, you're not going to be able to see religion and God and governments and the Illuminati and people like Donald Trump in the same way ever again. You won't be able to undo it. It's opening Pandora's box, I'm telling you now. But it's liberating. It's going to liberate you. It's going to free your soul. And then that's when the book of Revelation comes in, where he says he's doing away with temples and churches and, you know, holy men. Like, he wants to have that one-on-one personal relationship with you, where your temple is in your heart, because then you take him with you everywhere you go, and he's going to have that one-on-one with you. What I've just uncovered, that's exactly what he was talking about. And that's what I'm saying. What I uncovered, when you get to the book of Revelation, to that part where he's starting to take Lucifer and all that down to hell, which he's doing now, that's when he introduces you to the prospect of the second coming of Christ. He's clearing the path. And then we all need to be prepared. But what I've just done has put into position exactly what he was talking about in the book of Revelation about don't go to church, don't give your money away to clergymen and blah, blah, blah. Go. Your heart is your church. Your heart is your temple, and I will meet you there, and you can take me with you everywhere you go. And if you want to go to church and pray and stuff like that, if that's your routine, and you're happy with that, that's completely fine. But for everybody else, because especially if you're Catholic and that, you're made to feel guilty for not going to church and attending mass and all that, and God's saying you don't, I don't want you to, you don't have to. So stop feeling guilty, because I've said clearly in the book of Revelation, your heart is my temple, and wherever you go, that's where I'll be. And so what happened yesterday explains all of that, and just it's put all of what he said in the book of Revelation into play. And it's so exciting. Jubilation. I'm telling you now. So all because of one dream with Queen Victoria. However, it did kind of technically start with Diana's mosaic dream and the nudge nudge wink wink one, and of course Queen Elizabeth coming through after she died with her codes when we were both dying together. So yeah, wow. I'm going to finish my coffee and formulate how I'm going to do the second one, and I shall speak to you later. Have a wonderful Friday. If you're going out, please don't drink and drive. Drink your own drinks, smoke your own smokes, and make sure you got enough money for a taxi home or a phone call home. In case you run out of battery on your phone, you can use a phone box. That's what my mum and dad always used to say. So don't go home with strangers, and be safe, and don't drink and drive. I'll speak to you later. Ka kite anō. Mwah.